A very good morning to all my dear students. Students, today we are starting a new chapter and the chapter name is Democracy. This is chapter number 22 and the last chapter for PT 1. So now we will study that what is a democracy, what is a democratic country, what is a democratic form of government, and we are going to study different types of government in this chapter. So now proceed to our chapter. Okay students, chapter number 22, Democracy. What is democracy? Democracy is the most preferred form of government in today's world. Democracy admits variety and at the same time it also permits criticism. So now in today's world, which form of government is popular? Democratic form of government. And in this democratic form of government, variety is also there. Yes, we choose our own representatives as well as criticisms are also there by the opposition parties. So now the word democracy is derived from the Greek word demos, example people, and kratos, which means role of government. Hence, democracy is a rule of the people or their representatives. So here, who rules? The rule of the people or the elected representatives which are chosen by the people. That elected representatives, they form the government and they run the country. A very well definition of democracy given by Abraham Lincoln states, so this is a very well definition of democracy. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. Yes, it is a government of the people, government which is made for the people and it is made by the people, and this government is working for the people. So democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. Now, evolution of democracy. How democracy evolved. Democracy was prevalent during ancient Greek civilization, example 2500 years ago. So when it was prevailed means it was prevailed around 25,000 years ago. The pattern has been changing from the past. Hence, it is essential to reconstruct the stages and learn the meaning in the transformed stage. So from that year to up to this time, democracy has various stages. So now we will study about these stages. During ancient times, the states in Greece were small. The people used to gather at one place to make laws. All the people participated in the governance. They were free to create rules and make laws. This type of democracy was called direct democracy. So what is a direct democracy? In which direct role of the people is there. Yes, the people, they make their laws. All the people participants, they are free to create rules for them. That is called the direct democracy. In the Roman civilization, there was a combination of monarchical democracy and aristocracy. So, in Roman time, what is there? Democracy is there, but monarchical. Monarchical here means either the rule of a king or a queen, means they are the head, king or queen is the head in this democracy, and aristocracy. In the Roman civilization, there was a combination of monarchical democracy and aristocracy. Monarchical means the head is there, either king or queen. Whole power is vested in the hands of king or queen. And aristocracy means the people that who belong to high social class. That is the aristocracy. So that in Roman civilization, who ruled the country? It was in the hands of monarchical democracy. It was a combination of monarchical democracy and aristocracy. During this period, a political and economic system called feudalism was practiced. So which system practiced? Feudalism, in which three factors are there: the lord, noble, the vassal, the person who was granted a land by noble, and the fief, the land. The relation between these factors was the basis of feudalism. So feudalism was between the relation between the noble, between the vassal and the fief. When feudalism came to end, the law and order was enforced and representative democracy and nationalism developed after the 14th century. So when feudalism came to end, which developed? Democracy and nationalism was developed in the 14th century. I will show you the image of a feudalism. Like for example, see here students. This is feudalism in whom? In Europe. Here king and queen head. Under them lords and ladies means noble people are there. Then knights means warriors are there. And then peasants and serfs are there. The lower category. Yes, so this was a feudalism. See, they are arranged according to their work. Yes, king and queen head. Then under them noble means rich people. The knights, and lastly at peasants and serfs. So all these are this is the feudalism. Here you can see king is there. King is giving land grant, give it to the nobles. Then who take the protection of the land? Peasants were taking. So like this also, this is a feudal pyramid of power. Yes, power was allotted to different people like this. In the 16th century, England was defeated by Spanish, which led to the growth of Parliament. Although the king had power, he still had to exercise his power under the control of the Parliament. So now which led to the growth of Parliament? What is a Parliament? In which king was there, but he cannot, but whatever power he was using, that power is under the control of the Parliament. In the 17th century, the whole power was transferred to the two houses of Parliament, namely the House of Lords and the House of Commons. So two houses of Parliament like House of Lords and House of Commons. As we are having Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, yes, Parliament houses two, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In the same way, at that time two houses of Parliament were House of Lords and the House of Commons. So this was the evolution of democracy. Now, did you know Switzerland is the only country today where direct democracy is in practice at the state level? Yes, so at the state level, which type of democracy is there in Switzerland? It is the direct democracy, which you have already done, that all people participated, they are free to make rules and laws, all these. The Gram Sabha is an example of direct democracy in India. And in India, which is the main example of direct democracy? Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha are there, panchayats are there, yes, 5 members are there, which are elected by the village panchayat, which are elected by the village people. Yes, they make their own laws, and then all the people, they have to follow those laws. So Gram Sabha is an example of direct democracy. Okay students, now there are some laws also which are formed for running the democratic states. Like for example, Petition of Rights, Bill of Rights, these are some laws, yes, which are the guiding principles for the democratic states. Mutiny Act 1689, Habeas Corpus Act 1679, Act of Settlements 1701. So these are some acts, laws. Now we will study another factors which are responsible for the growth of democracy. We will study about factors and revolutions. First, the Glorious Revolution of 1688 in England was a severe blow to the absolute rule of the British king. It established the rule of law. So this Glorious Revolution, it led to the establishment of rule of law. A set of written laws was formed, and the power to govern the country was bestowed in the hands of the Parliament. So now earlier the power was with the British king, but after that the power was moved in the hands of the Parliament to govern the country, and it is due to the Glorious Revolution. In 1789, the French Revolution gave rise to the ideas of liberty, equality and fraternity. In 1789, which revolution took place? French Revolution. And this French Revolution gave rise to what ideas? Liberty, equality and fraternity. What is a fraternity? Fraternity means the dignity of a person, means respect of a person. that lower class people or the common people should be paid respect. It gave a blow to monarchy. So monarchy, it came to an end. This revolution was directed against the inequalities present in the French society. Why this revolution took place? Because of the inequalities. There were too much inequalities in the French Revolution. High class people, they were devoid of taxes, whereas the common people, taxes were imposed on them. They have to bear the burden of administration also. So in order to stop these inequalities, French Revolution took place. Soon after the revolution, a constitution was made and France became a republic. Now third, the American War of Independence also opposed the idea of a government which did not work for the welfare of the people. The people revolted against the government and ousted the government. So this War of Independence was also against the government, for that government which is not working for the welfare of the people. And this War of Independence was also successful. The government was overthrown. Fourth, the Russian Revolution of 1917, it also led to rise of social and economic equality. So students, you will see that these revolutions took place. Yes, these revolutions were against the inequalities which prevailed at that time. And these equalities, they led to the rise of economic equalities, social equalities. Yes, these revolutions took place in order to stop the inequalities in the country, in order to protect their rights from being exploited. So these revolutions and these factors are responsible for the growth of democracy. So students, we have read a little bit what is a democracy, what are the factors responsible for the growth of democracy, and now in the next tutorial we will study about different types of government. Yes, we are having a parliamentary form of government in India, yes or no? In America, what is there? Presidential form of government. So various forms of types of government are there, which we going to study in the next tutorial. Till then your homework is read the chapter and meet you in the next tutorial. Till then, have a good day.